Monster Kody did an interview, and I'm going to try to hold it together right now. Monster Kody did an interview, and he said that he brought somebody's arm. He brought somebody's arm back to a meeting, and that was Jay Blake's arm.
You mean to tell me that story is real?
Yes, that was Jay Blake's arm. It was real. He did bring an arm back. They chopped him up and put him in front of Jefferson High School. They couldn't even open his casket, sir. In that day, it was 3 funerals. When I seen that interview that he did, and he just like had no remorse, you know.
A lot of people thought that when he wrote that in his book, he was exaggerating.
No, it was true. It was true.
(1975), 4 gangsters from the 8 Trade Gangster Crips rolled deep in the Mustang looking for Bloods in Crip territory. One got the sawed off, one got the fofo, and the other got the pump. 11-year-old Monster Kody is in the car with him. The homie Lep, which is short for leprechaun, yelled out, "There they go." Damn, they deep too. They saw about 15 Bloods mobbed up and walking around in their neighborhood. Young Monster Kody looked up and saw his enemies and thought to himself, "Tonight is the night, and I'll never stop until I get all of them." They drove around another block and got out of the car. They crept up on the Bloods and started blasting. Heavy bodies hitting the ground, confused, scared, and yelling. And then there was a second wave of gunfire. By the 6th shot, young Kody had advanced past the first fallen bodies and into the street in pursuit of the others who fled on foot. Kody spotted a Blood nearby, pointed his weapon, and laid him out. And this was Monster Kody's first taste of blood. Monster Kody, aka Sanyika Shakur, started putting in work at the age of 11. And this was the same day he was initiated into the 8 Trade Gangster Crips.
He joined the Crips at age 11 on the day he graduated from the 6th grade. That night, he says he was given a shotgun, and for his initiation, he pumped 8 rounds into the ranks of a rival gang.
Why would an 11-year-old want to carry a gun and go out and kill people?
It was necessary. It was either I got with the power or I was a victim. Either you get with it or you don't. At that time, the purest manifestation of power was to be in a car, a stolen car, with 4 weapons, with 4 people, and high off narcotics, and to be rolling through an enemy's neighborhood. The surge of power that you get because you have life and death in your hand because you're carrying weapons and they're not, or even if they are, you get to jump on them. The satisfaction you get is knowing that you're in control. And at that age, it's very easy to feel powerless because a lot of us are powerless. So we join gangs, as I did, for the power. To be able to say, this is my crew, this is my posse, these are my homeboys, and let's go do this.
One afternoon, his little brother and a friend were eating hot dogs at Arch Frank's, and his brother's friend left a hot dog wrapper on the table. An employee named Eric, who was also a gangster and a hothead, told them to pick their paper up, and the guys refused. So Eric got pissed and started roughing them up. Kody stepped in to save his brother. He ran up and got dropped by one of Eric's punches. Kody gets up, pointing his weapon at him, and pulled the trigger. But the gun went click, click, click. Now Kody's thinking, damn, I forgot I only had 3 bullets, but I don't know where they are in the cylinder. Everybody scattered and took off running. Kody's little brother rushed him and took the gun from him, then fired shots into the hot dog stand where Eric took cover. Now out of bullets, here comes Eric running from behind the hot dog stand, carrying a shotgun, running at the boys full speed. Eric chased the boys for several blocks, blasting the shotgun round after round, but he missed every time. After meeting back at the house, his mother, angry and yelling at him, threatened to send the boys to their uncle's house in West Covina. The next morning, Kody was at the bus stop waiting to head to school. Eric pulls up to the bus stop with a car full of other gangsters. Eric hops out. At this time, Kody was scared out of his mind because he feared Eric may have a gun. Since Kody was on his way to school, he left his gun at home. Eric hopped out and punched Kody in the mouth. Then Kody takes off running. Somehow Kody managed to make it all the way home. Now Cody's returning with a gun. This time now, Kody had a revolver. With 6 hot ones ready for Eric, he ran up, drew his weapon, and fired all 6 rounds into the hot dog stand, hoping that he hit Eric. Eric had just opened up for business. The next day, Kody was arrested and was sent to juvenile hall. In the fall of 1980, the war between the Rolling 60s and the 8-Tray gangster Crips was in full swing. There were casualties on both sides. People die every day in South Central, but it was the viciousness and the timing of these killings that made the gang community stop and take notice. Escalation was the order of the day. Entire streets were turned into army camps, used as territory meetings for mounting up, where they can be carried out without worrying about enemy gunfire. Kody stepped out one night wearing all black. He hopped on his 10-speed with a sawed-off in his waistband. He crept into enemy territory and heard them playing loud music and talking. He snuck up behind him about 17 feet away, and he realized if he was going to hit him, he'd have to shoot through a fence. But since he had the sawed-off on him, he knew that he would be good. He knew he'd be able to chop many of them down because the bullets spread. And at this point, having a spray versus a solid impact was more to his benefit. He inched closer to the fence and he riddled all of them with bullets. As he took off running, he jumped in excruciating pain because he shoved the gun in his waistband, but the barrels were still blazing. Many of Kody's war stories was happening before the age of 21. All of this was happening during his teenage years. Kody grew up under his big homie Stanley Tookie Williams. Kody used to lift weights over Tookie's house. Tookie had no furniture in his house, just crates and weights. New Year's Eve 1980, the mayhem that Monster Kody was causing in the streets was beginning to catch up to him. A car full of women pulled up where he was kicking it at. They blew the horn for him and they signaled their arms out for him to come over. Kody feeling iffy about the situation due to the friendliness of the women. Kody didn't want to go near the car because he knew how the hood works. They could have an enemy laying down in the back seat ready to hit him. That's what they do. They lure you in with beautiful women sometimes. Until one of the homies said, "Oh, that's just Pam, Yolanda, and Kim." Pam was one of the homies' girlfriends, so Kody let down his guards. Kody still being suspicious, he gets in and he sits directly in the middle. Kody wanted to make eye contact with the driver's eyes through the mirror. He felt if he sat in the middle, he can read the driver's eye movements and look for anything suspicious. And in case of an ambush, he would be stuck to a specific side, so he felt the middle would be the safest. On the way to the spot, he saw one of his boys and he told the girls to pull over and let his boys in. Pam responded no. Kody said, "Well, let me out then." Kody felt he'd be a little more comfortable if one of the guys ride with him. So she pulled over and let him in. They arrived at their destination and Kody became even more suspicious. Kody got out of the car, but the women remained seated. Kody yelled at him and said, "Y'all better hurry up." and he got no response from the women. Appearing out of nowhere, 3 men walked towards him mean mugging. Kody turned around and the women were long gone. Kody was shot 6 times and left for dead. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comment section.